Greetings, this is Amy Wentley with Chai Knuckles Knitting. This video covers the I-cord cast-on. This is one of a series of videos covering cast-ons that you can use for knitting, and a link to the playlist is in the description below and on my blog at chaiknucklesknitting.com. The I-cord cast-on isn't actually used very often. One of the reasons is because it's a very tight cast-on. But it's decorative, very pretty. It makes a little tube at the bottom of your cast-on, like piping across the cast-on. That's very pretty. So I will show you how to make that. And you can make them as a 3-stitch I-cord bind cast-on, 4-stitch, even 5-stitch. You should not go higher than that. So the number that you cast on is how wide or bulky that I-cord is going to be. So if you cast on 3, it's going to be narrower, 4 a little bigger, 5 pretty big. So I'm going to start out by just casting on 3 stitches, and you can do that any way that you please. So I'm going to use a long tail cast on here. If you want to see how to do that, you can look at my videos. Go to the playlist and there will be a long tail cast on video there. So I'm going to do 1, 2, this is 2, and 3 stitches. So then I'm going to knit the first row of stitches. So 1, 2, 3. So then, without turning my work, you'll see my working yarn is here. I am going to move these 3 stitches back to the left needle. And I do that purlwise. I don't twist them. I just move them directly over. You'll see now that the working yarn is coming out of the back of this farthest stitch. I'm going to insert my needle and I'm going to do a knit front back increase on the first stitch. So I insert my needle as if to knit, wrap the yarn, and I pull the loop through, but I don't drop the stitch off the needle. Then I'm going to go around to the back and insert my needle through the back loop and wrap and pull through. And so that makes 2 new stitches on the right hand needle, and then I'm going to finish knitting the rest of the stitches on the needle. And then without turning, again, so here's my working yarn, without turning, I am going to slip 3 stitches because this is a 3-stitch cast on. I'm going to slip 3 stitches to the left needle, leaving this stitch on the right needle. This is the first stitch that I cast on. Okay, so I'm going to leave that on the right needle. The working yarn is here on the far side of these 3 stitches. I'm going to come around and I'm going to do the first stitch is going to be a knit front back again. So I'm going to insert my needle as if to knit, wrap the yarn and pull it through, come around the back of the stitch, insert into the back of the stitch back there, wrap my yarn and pull through. So that's my increase. I'm going to do 2 more stitches, and then without turning, again, I'm going to move 3 stitches to the left hand needle. Now I have 2 stitches that have been cast on the right hand needle. So I do the first stitch, knit, front, back, and 2 more. And then I move 3 stitches back to the right needle as if to purl. And I'll do this one more time and then I'll show you what is happening. So this is the working yarn at the far end. I bring it around. I'll do a knit front, back on the first needle to make an increase, and then I will knit the rest of the stitches. And you'll see what's happening here is I am building a little cord under my long tail cast on. Or not my long tail cast on, my I-cord cast on. I now have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches cast on. Okay. You are going to want to keep doing this until you get the number of cast on stitches you want plus 3. Okay. So let's imagine that I am near the end of my cast on. I need to cast on 4 stitches, and I have the 3 left over at the end. So I've got a total of 7, but I want to be able to cast on 4. So I've got 3 extra that I did here. And what you'll want to do now is move 4 stitches over to your left hand needle. It's 4 stitches this time. Then you're going to want to knit 2 together. So you'll knit 2 together like that, wrap the yarn around and pull it through. My yarn is very splitty. Okay, so that's the first one, knit 2 together, and then the second one, knit 2 together, and then I am going to move 2 stitches to the left hand needle, and I will knit 2 together. Come on, splitty yarn. I'll try that again. There we go. Knit 2 together, and then that finishes up the edge of your cast on, and you have 4 stitches cast on now. I'm sorry, 4 stitches cast on now. Lost you there for a second. So there are your 4 stitches, and then you're ready to work your first row. There's a little bit of a gap here, but once you work your first row, that's going to tighten up, and you'll just have a nice edge then to this I-cord that ends there. So there you go. That is the I-cord cast on. Please come back for more videos. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.